Hey y'all, welcome to My Weird Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. So today I want to talk about uncovering the mask of your entity, of the entity that is coming towards you, of the entity that is trying to work with you. Nobody's trying to work with a stranger. That wouldn't make sense on your part. So you have to be able to feel out the vibration of the entity, which then allows you to form certain shapes with those vibrations, which then gives you a better picture of what it is exactly that you're working with. This is not something that just happens automatically. It is the actual entity communicating with you and telling you about itself. Zanne, is it possible that the entity would lie? So basically, you would be asking this because you obviously want to be safe. No, entities don't normally do that. If your entity is maybe like not trying to tell you the whole truth, that's exactly what it will do. It will tell you some things and not tell you other things. And the only reason why a high frequency entity, the entities that I recommend that you work with, like the only reason they would do that is because your mind is not yet at a place where it's able to accept two concepts that seem as though they are opposing each other. You're still so much embedded in a state of duality that you don't know how to accept two truths that seem like they are opposing each other. So, what would be an example of that? And also, I want to state that normally an entity will not engage with someone that is like balls deep in duality. The only reason why it would is because you are actually being given a chance to step outside of duality. You are given a chance to taste non-duality, and that's why this entity has come towards you, because like I said, entities, high frequency entities, are of a non-dual nature. That's why there is no, the entities I'm talking about, there is no evil entity or there is no good entity. It is an entity. These are, at the highest level, primordial beings. At a mid level, they've been around for a really long time, like before all your religions as you know it. A lot of them were cast aside by the current religions because they were, you know how it is, man. Like, religions for some reason seem to have a thing against doing your own search, like doing your own discovery. There's a need to discover through the entity that is the church. That is the only entity that you're allowed to actually get your answers from, the church. And to want to engage with other entities in order to, that's funny, right? I bet you've never looked at your church as an entity, or you've never looked at your religion as an entity. It is. So yeah, this channel is an entity. But anyway, um, I'm scolding myself on the inside. I'm asking myself, why is it these days that you seem to say too much? Ubuyenzwa yini nje ukuthi ube sokhuluma kakhulu kulamalanga? Yile lipstick oyifakile. Yabona into esoyenza nje ukuthi sikususe le lipstick ngoba usukhuluma kakhulu manje. Oh God, I really hope I edit this out. Ngoba ngiyaphapha ngiyazi ukuthi I'm not going to. Ngoba ngiyancena futhi noku-editha mina guys nginitsheleni. Yeah. So yeah. your engagement with this entity has a lot to do with allowing you to step outside of your dualistic nature. Um, and not as a thing of leaving a certain dimension and going to another dimension. You know how like you guys like to talk, I'm leaving the third dimension, moving into 5D. Like, no, 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 no. It's about being multidimensional. So it's about being able to access what you call the 5D and entities from the seventh dimension or seven density like entities at the same time being right here, material world, making your material world to not just be a third dimensional space, but renovating it into a more expansive dimensional space, right? Because you can live in higher dimensions and still be in this exact material world, because this world is multidimensional. Whatever you're experiencing now is because that's all you have access to. Whatever people call the third dimension is because that's all you have access to. But if any of you are able to speak or hear or get messages from entities, then you are beyond. You have added another dimension into your life. How to unmask your entity. So again, your entity will give you will send to you certain energetic vibrations that your templates will organize in order to make certain shapes so that you understand. I'm going to give you an example of this. So your sorry, not your entity, but the entity that you are interacting with will, I've never said this, but I've never thought that I have to say it. You understand it's not your entity, right? You understand that this is not a thing where like you must control. I know how people sometimes get so obsessed with like, I need to learn how to control it. Don't be ridiculous. You get that, right? You heard the part where I said primordial. You understand what primordial means, right? Before the word. Like, before everything. Part of everything. Has seen everything. Knows that even the way we describe the thing, that's not actually how it happened. Because it was there. So if you are one of those people that has maybe an idea of like controlling like this type of power per se, like just gently wash that out of your mind. I think it's natural that you may think so. Normal, not natural, it's normal that you may think so because of the social conditioning. Like, we're always taught that we must control a certain power. That's the only way that you can use it to your advantage. But as I've always been teaching you, with the powers that I speak about, it's about connection. Even this communication that I'm telling you right now with the entity happens through connection. So the entity will transmit a certain energy to you. When Namase Figagu, when it arrives to you, you're gonna see, or you're gonna keep seeing, either through dreams or either through certain content that you are engaging in or certain conversations that you have with people. For example, you will start for example, you will start seeing a lot of Zeus, right? Within the media that you're watching. Maybe you're gonna watch a movie and they're talking about Zeus, and you on the History Channel and they're talking about Greek mythology and they're talking about Zeus and his story. And then so now let's look at the characteristics of Zeus, right? Zeus being the king of the gods. References to Zeus including lightning, um divine masculine, really. I mean, I don't know how far if we include the graping. which I want to say is a misinterpretation, but I'm not sure. Is it? Is it though? Is it? But okay, cool, right? So you get given this picture for a while, and then you might be thinking, oh my God, it's Zeus. The entity I'm talking to is Zeus. No, but it's not Zeus. It's trying to tell you about itself. So, for instance, now we know you're working with a masculine entity. You're working, Zeus is kind of like dark masculine. So, you're working with dark masculine entity. Lightning, plasma, you're working with a primordial entity, was there before the word. Like, maybe I need to stop saying that. I don't want you guys to get offended, but what I'm just trying to say is that it was there before what you know is the beginning. You know there was a beginning before what you know is the beginning, right? So, and then next thing you know, you are maybe, because it's always something that you have a reference to. This entities will hack your mind, and they will look for things within your mind that they can use to explain themselves. So it will use Zeus if you are into Greek mythology. Some of you have no idea about Greek mythology. You don't have any reference to Zeus, but you're into Orisha. You know Shango, and so you will see Shango, and Shango is about lightning also dark, divine, masculine. It will explain how maybe, so it's explaining certain things about self. Zeus, Shango, very similar, very much into women, very much into the sexual act. I'm not gonna say grape with Zeus. I'm gonna cross the line here. And again, this is such an interesting conversation because we were just talking about the duality and the allowing two truths that seem opposing to exist in one place. So let's say, yes, Zeus, grapist. You guys know what I mean, eh? And then, because I can't say the word here, I'll get demonetized. I can't say that word, especially the number of times I've said it. So I have to say it this way. But let's also say maybe BDSM. Now some people are gonna be so offended by that. Yeah. BDSM? Who's saying gani? BDSM. Like, I get it. I'm just like introducing a scenario where an entity will try and explain to you, like, maybe don't look at it that way, look at it this way, type of thing. I'm not saying it's true, guys. Don't get all hectic on me, okay? Friday, guys. So again, Shango, Zeus, masculine. Do you see what it's explaining to you? It's explaining to you that this entity, dark masculine, very much into sex, very much into women. Zeus was into men too. Yeah, Zeus, Shango also like to party, also like to drink, you know, yeah, involved with multiple. So this entity is telling you, see, through these images that you keep getting in your mind's eye, and through it being reiterated through the media and the content that you are getting into, including this channel, like, the entity is basically explaining to you its nature. And you will find a lot of the times an entity that is attracted to you shares the same nature as you. You might not be aware of certain things that you are into, but the connection with the entity will make you aware. Let's say sometimes the entity you are working with suddenly shows you, like, suddenly you just see this picture in your mind of, like, Mother Mary. You know, like the tile, like, decoration. I'll put a picture here, like, that you find in, like, I think it's more of like a Hispanic thing. You find it in, like Mexican homes. It's coming across as like Frida Kahlo. I don't know what nationality Frida Kahlo is. I think she was Mexican, but yeah, either way, Hispanic. um there's that tile decoration like most people have in their homes of the Mother Mary. So maybe you start to see that, right? And then by let's say you're South African, all of a sudden you see references of Unandi, Mama Lashaga. So can you see, you need to follow the thread. Like, this is obviously, the entity is telling you something about, these are both, like, let's say, archetypes that represent divine femininity. Now it's interesting because Mother Mary is, like, representing that pure image of femininity, the version. And then you've got Unandi that kind of represents a dark femininity, type of thing. So the entity is telling you about how she is balanced, how not, I wouldn't say she, but how it is of a feminine energy and it is of a balanced feminine energy. It has certain qualities that are socially seen as pure and chastity like, and it has other qualities where fuck around and find out type of thing. Do you see? Like, the entity will communicate. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we unmask the entities that want to collaborate with us. We break down the symbolism in the energetic vibration that is being sent to us. Some of you might be seeing, okay, I don't know how you pronounce the name. Is it uh, Hecate? The maiden, the mother, the crone. Um, and Hecate is known as a protector of women. She's also known as the Injaye game in terms of like witchcraft. And witchcraft doesn't always have to mean like cooking up a storm for someone else. Um, the craft of witches, man. The ability to breathe magic into everything. Because everything is alive. The ability to speak into that which is alive in everything. That is witchcraft. Now, yes, some people will use that to breathe in malice into that thing, breathe in hatred into a living thing. But the same person can also breathe life into a living thing, breathe love into her garden, into her herbs, into her own sexual organs. That is craft. And Hecate represents that. At the same time, you've got this jinn that was called Asmodeus. The Asmodeus is now identified as a demon. No, Asmodeus was dirty, so I can see why. Naughty fellow. But I also understand that, like, if you try and capture something and keep it in a cage, I don't know how you can expect it to be nice. I don't know how you can do that. But anyway, again, here comes Asmodeus, who's also known as a three-faced entity, just like Hecate. So here, an entity is, again, the entity is not saying it is Hecate, it's not saying it's Asmodeus, it's not saying it's Unandi, it's not saying it is Zeus. It is describing its personality. We are unmasking the entity. It is describing its personality to you. So Asmodeus has a trickster energy, doesn't like to be trapped, and also fuck around and find out. And Asmodeus has this thing like, no matter how long you keep me down, at some point I'm gonna get up and you are fucked. Asmodeus plays the long game. Unforgiving. And at the same time, Asmodeus is connected to wealth. If you get Asmodeus to be friends with you or to love you. And when I say get them to do that, I mean be authentic enough. But also with Abu Asmodeus, it's tricky because you gotta allow him to like take a swing at you, type of thing. That's how Abu Asmodeus test out their people. Like, are you worthy? You gotta allow him to take a swing at you and survive the swing, you're good. I'm saying a lot again. But yeah, I know some people get so angry when I say, like, what's the point? Aren't you supposed to be saying, no, no, I'm not supposed to be telling you everything. There's things that you must figure out for yourself. Okay? People got the nerve to be like, well, what's the point? Like, what's the point if you get scared? Shut up. Shut up. Let's pull some cards. You guys must have a great weekend. Can you guys feel it? Like what I was telling you in the beginning of the year, it's gonna be a great year. This is your year, y'all. Like, not like, this is your year, the year, but I feel like this is the beginning of a great time in your life. Can y'all feel that? If you can't, please allow me to speak it into you. This is the beginning of the best years for you. Unmasking the entity. Please remember that the entity you're working with, like I said, is of a non-dual nature. There are certain things that you believe about certain ideas in life. Like some of you, when I was talking about Asmodeus, you're going to go Google Asmodeus and then you're going to come back and be like, fuck this bitch. Oh, hell no. No. And I need you to understand something. Like I said, just allow, for instance, the way I just spoke about it, like so easily. And it's okay for you to still believe what you want to believe. But like, just, I'm not saying let Asmodeus into your life. You probably, no offense at all, but you probably couldn't summon Asmodeus anyways. Like, depth. Where is the depth? No, and I don't want you to come at me and be like, yeah, well, I wouldn't be trying to summon no demon anyhow. You see, that's the thing. That's why you wouldn't be able to, because you go around labeling certain things based on what other people have told you. Guys, start normalizing exploring things for yourself, and maybe you will find that like this shit is dark, I'm out of here. And like I said, you're not it's not that the entity is actually that, it's saying to you it has those characteristics. Maybe it's telling you it's a jinn. And yeah, if you're Islamic and you're watching this, you're definitely saying, wow, this girl is literally saying it's okay for you to summon a demon. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in every religion, there's things that you've been told to do and things that you're told not to do. And, I'm not saying go and disrespect your religion or whatever. I'm just saying investigate. Investigate. If your religion doesn't allow you to investigate and, you agree with them, then that's cool. I have no beef with you, boo. It's your life. You do you, I do me, and like, yeah. All I know is there's more out there in your life, and you're just about completing your hero's journey, which is like when you are just about done cleansing your karmic cycle or like repaying your karmic debt. And the thing is, you didn't die. You thought that work was gonna kill you. You thought, it's called the great work in the esoteric field. You thought the great work was gonna kill you, but it didn't. You're still around. And you have an idea that things are not the way you've been taught. The path has showed you that. that things are more than just two-dimensional. There's more than two sides to a story. And two sides just expresses extreme, where something is evil or it's good. And it's like you're realizing nothing is like that. Nothing is like that. And because you've survived this trip around your own inner world, and you're realizing that it was not for nothing, you've gained a certain knowing because you experienced it. Like, oh my God, I love this for you. Here I was scared that like maybe you're not gonna understand what I'm saying and you think I'm pulling you into something. And I know you guys always reassure me in the comment section, you're like, boo, we got you. Like, don't you see? That's why we're here. I get it, right? But I guess like I kind of also don't get it. Guys, like I said, it's okay for two truths to exist at the same time. I get it and I don't get it. So, and it's the same with you guys. It's like, you've now done your trip through the karmic cycles. You've done the trip through your inner world. You've come across so much that basically you're never going to allow someone to just breathe fear into your heart, like breathe fear into your cells so much that you're afraid of investigating things. You have now experientially gone through certain things, and you know for a fact with this King of Wands, you know, like through experience, not through someone else telling you, through experience, you know there's more to life than what meets the eye. There's more to life than what you've been told. Like there's more to life than what keeps getting preached at you. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with what's being preached at you. It is okay for a certain part of you, the part of you that was still a child. But you're not that anymore. You're now an explorer. You're now an adventurer. You're a King of Wands. Your magic comes from your experiences. Your knowledge is not just information. It's experiential knowledge. Look at you guys going all Gnostic. And you're better off for it. You're becoming so close to that part of yourself that I described as your dark side and so forth, because you're recognizing yourself so much in that mirror. Because you were told that that part of you is wrong and you should hide it and you should close the door. But a lot of you done started opening that door because you needed more assistance to navigate life, and nobody would help you except this one that they describe as your dark side. And they told you that this part of you maybe is evil and right, but experientially that didn't turn out to be true. This part of yourself, it's like this part of you gets angry, it's gonna ruin everything, it's gonna burn the village, only to find that this is the part of you that has discipline, this is the part of you that has compassion, this is the part of you that has restraint, that's able to say, well, not now, not now. That's able to say, no, I will not stoop to the level of the person that is hurting me. I will not allow the person that is hurting me to change me and make me like them. Instead, bring me closer to who I really am, because lishisa are the person that I am trying to be, the person that I want to be perceived as, the person that wants to be liked, and in order to be liked has to say yes to being hurt, say yes to being manipulated, say yes to being lied to being cheated on, to all of these things. You're shy, you're loyal, your true self. You are there observing. But okay, this version of yourself didn't make you an evil person. It actually made you more honest than you've ever been in your life, more authentic than you've ever been in your life, more whole. And your connection with your entities are going to bring up more of that. I don't know how I digressed, but I seem to also be doing that within the readings. I guess that just needed to come out. But yeah, ultimately, that's what I have for you guys. You guys have a great weekend. Um, have a great weekend. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box. If you want to book a mentorship session, all that information is also in the description box. Later.